it's a lot to talk about with you because you're like a bodybuilder, you're a healer, you're an enthusiast or something like I could say that a fitness enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like health and wellness, really want to promote actually taking care of your health and not just bodybuilding, like to shift over and just not just to make it about vanity, because you can look like you are fit and strong, but your internal world can be like wreak havoc. And I think I went through like part of my journey was exactly that. I was competing, winning my pro card, but I was in a lot of pain. My body was always aching, and I wasn't really happy, and so my internal world was actually not doing so well. So yeah, I looked huge, big, strong, and I could go to the gym, but I was tired all the time, and my body was just sore and constantly sore. So I had to really start looking within and seeing what it is that I had to do, differently, and look at fitness and bodybuilding from a wellness standpoint and not just an aesthetic standpoint. Because a lot of times when you have a goal, right, you get set in a blinder of that goal. And I think for the most part, I always um, wanted to keep my health in check. But you don't know what you don't know till you know what you know. So I really wasn't doing things in the best way possible. And now that I know so much more, I really want to be able to listen to my body and feed my body nourishment. And I don't want to overcompensate. I don't um, want to throw away my actual health and well-being for how I look anymore. Because sometimes you'll like weigh the pendulum. Okay, well, what is more risk? Well, I want this, and so like you decide to have cognitive dissonance about that. It's actually going to hinder your health. So instead of like, you're like, it's okay because this has more weight. Like, I really, really want to achieve this. I want to look good. And so sometimes you put your health kind of up here because you think, you take it for granted. You think like nothing's going to happen to me or like whatnot. And then, COVID is a huge, big thing that hit that should really wake us up to be like, hey, let's not take our health for granted. And our health isn't on something that's external. Our health actually comes from what we're doing internally, from the inside, in mind, body, and spirit, right? So like,
Mm.
it's not what you do outside. There's no magic pill. Like, your body is a miraculous machine in itself. It does miracles. It works perfectly and divinely, and it knows exactly how to do everything synergistically and perfectly when it's running, when you're treating it right. But when you're not treating it right, then it starts to break down. So like, when you look at anything, the mechanics of anything, if you're not treating the mechanics of that properly and allowing it to clear out the guck and allowing it to, not overrunning it and allow, or running it, like if you could have a car sit for too long and go right, it starts to break down. If you have a car just continuously going forever and ever and ever, it's going to break down, right? So the same thing, this is the mechanics of our body is the same thing. If you like keep it sitting, it's going to break down. If you overdo it, it's going to break down. There's a harmony that you have to have. And not only that, but like, it's like, it works on, your emotional body and your spiritual body, and it all comes and it works synergistically together. So your body is so cool. It provides information and communication to you to be able to help you understand, what do I need to understand about myself? So like, and a lot of times what we do is we ignore those things because we don't understand the importance. We don't understand the communication. It's like it's speaking a language to us, and we are choosing not to sit and understand it. It's like, to us, it's going wah, wah, wah. When really we should understand our body. All we really have to do is slow down and sit with it and ask ourselves, like, okay, what does my body need? Does my body truly need this? Does it need more rest? Does it need more movement? What kind of movement does it need? Do I need to Do I need to make it stronger? Do I need to work on my flexibility? Do it like, because it all comes hand to hand. So the things that like I know now, I have a whole bunch of things that if I knew now what I would do then, and how I think it would even accelerate where I have been. But it's a part of the journey, and we have a big ego as we're going through a lot of things. So, like for example, warm up, cool down, or like stretching or yoga. How much I used to disregard those things as unimportant because I really wanted to achieve this huge goal that I set out to achieve. So it's like, no, I want to build muscle. No, I want to burn fat. So like, I'm not going to do all these like little things that aren't really burning a whole lot of calories, aren't really, I thought was not actually going to do something for me. But now in hindsight, and understanding my body and how I've incorporated it, now I see that those very things could actually make you way more efficient in achieving those goals. But you don't understand the importance, because like when you actually have more range of motion and you're getting more blood to your muscles, which is what flexibility, like stretching and yoga can do, you can actually, when you get more blood flow to the actual muscle, then you can lift more, essentially easier, and you can grow. And so when you have like those problem areas that you have that don't grow, those are beautiful gifts of information too. So those are the places where it's like, okay, there's stagnant energy there. So like say, okay, my shoulder, I am having problem areas with my shoulders. Well, that's going to give you communication. Or I have a problem area with my glutes. That's going to give you communication. It's going to give you communication on many different levels, on simply your physical level, meaning like, okay, there's a muscle there that just isn't firing. Now, when you look at that too, like say your lower body, then it's like, okay, well, what in my foundation within me, because that's what it's attached to, like your root chakra, your foundation, your sense of belonging. So there may be some internal work to even go in there. And so like so it's telling you a whole bunch of different things. First of all, you need to isolate it. And then all of a sudden, and also there may be things in a shadow aspect of your internal world that could be correlated too. And once you actually, if you work and tie all those things together, then you see everything start to flow and start to activate and start to fire. And then your growth starts becoming exponential, and you don't even have to, it's not going to be one of those problem areas anymore.